Yep. Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my scream box?
Now go. Will now be on the record in 2023 TR 3563. State of Kansas versus Prentice Sherrod Kyrese Bird. Jared Regier for the state. Mr. Bird in person and pro se. Mr. Bird, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
When you were here June 12th, you thought you might look into diversion. Did you do that?
I did.
And how did that work out for you?
I decided not to get one.
Decided not to get it? Okay. And are you going to want to have an attorney represent you?
No.
I'm sorry?
No, ma'am.
No? You don't want to hire one or see if you qualify for court appointed?
No, ma'am.
So you wish to waive your right to attorney knowing that you can hire or apply for court appointed?
Correct.
And is anyone making you waive your right to an attorney?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
No? All right, then I will have the record reflect that you've knowingly and voluntarily waived your right to counsel. Looking at count 1, operating with an expired tag. Count 2, displaying a fictitious driver's license. Count 3, driving while suspended. Are you wanting to talk to the county about negotiating any of those pleas, sir, or how do you want to proceed?
And Your Honor, forgive me for interjecting.
Mr. Regier?
I am showing in this matter an amended information was filed with the court in March of 2024. It does appear to retain counts 1 and 3, expired tag or registration, and driving while respectively while dismissing count 2.
All right. So you're only looking at the expired tag and driving while suspended. How do you want to proceed on those, sir?
Guilty for the tag and no contest for the suspended license.
Very well. Let's look at count 1. You're pleading guilty for driving on December 5th, 2023 in Butler County with an expired tag?
Correct.
That's the one you're pleading no contest to, or guilty?
Guilty to no tag.
Okay, so you're admitting you did do that, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And then on count 3, how do you plead to operating with a suspended license on December 5th, 2023 in Butler County?
No contest.
Is anyone making you enter these pleas today by any threats or promises?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
No, ma'am.
I may one day have a court reporter transcribing this. She needs to hear you a little better, sir. You said no contest to count 3?
Yes, no contest to count 3.
Very good. Now that time we heard you clearly. All right. You understand if I accept these pleas, you'll probably be found guilty and there will be no trial?
Yes.
You're wanting to give up your right to trial?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Regier, since there was a no contest plea on count 3, why don't you offer a factual basis to both of these counts, please, if you can?
I am in a position to do so, Your Honor. Just to be clear, the court is finding a guilty plea has been entered for count 1 and a no contest plea for count 3.
I am so finding.
Very good, Your Honor. Your Honor, the ticket does appear to refer to a stop occurring on December 5th, 2023 involving a 2019 Ford. With respect to jurisdiction, the ticket does appear to specifically refer to a stop location on US 54 at milepost 227. The state's understanding is that is within Andover city limits, still within Butler County boundaries. Insofar as count 1 is concerned, the ticket appears to refer to a license year next to the license plate number of 2020, which would appear to be prior to the December 2023 stop. Insofar as driving while suspended is concerned, the officer did specifically cite the defendant for for that particular violation, and the state's evidence would show the same were this case to proceed to trial.
I do find that Mr. Byrd has knowingly voluntarily entered a guilty plea to count 1 and no contest to count 3. I also find that a factual basis exists to support these pleas. Therefore, I do find the defendant guilty of count 1 as well as count 3. Recommendations for sentencing, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. On count 3, the state would recommend a $50 fine with $108 in court costs and a 30-day underlying sentence. For count 3, a $100 fine and 120 days underlying sentence. The state does not have an objection to those running concurrent. However, the state is recommending a non-reporting probation of 12 months in this particular matter. I will, of course, defer to the court on the issue of repayment of the case. And, Your Honor, there is something else which may or may not be relevant to the issue of sentencing, but the state does consider important to this particular case.
Why don't you go ahead and present that at this time, sir?
Your Honor, in my file, I am showing an affidavit. It would appear to indicate, quote, that as of August 13th, 2024, the defendant failed to report to the Butler County Detention Facility as directed by the court to be processed and released.
That is not a good thing, Mr. Byrd. Why did you deny and disobey my court order?
I've been living in Arizona. I've been working in Arizona, so I haven't been in Kansas. I just got back a week and a half ago.
You're back where, in Kansas?
Back in Kansas, yes. I've been in Arizona.
So in a week and a half, you didn't get out there and take care of this?
I just went to today to the court date.
Are you in El Dorado?
No, I'm in Wichita.
Mr. Byrd, I have to give you a sentence today. And I have to decide whether I can trust you to follow my orders on probation. And if I can't trust you, I have to deny you probation and just have you serve your sentence. You've already showed me that you're not going to follow my orders if you don't want to, or if they're not convenient. At this time, on count 1, your sentence includes a $50 fine and a 120-day jail sentence. On count 2, your fine is $100. Your sentence is 120 days. I will run those concurrent so that instead of serving 120 days on the one count and then starting on 120 on the other count, you can just serve 120 altogether. You are assessed court costs of $108, so you owe a total of $258. Can you pay that today?
I can. I mean, I could.
You can pay it today. Then I will order that you pay it in person by 5 o'clock today at the Butler County Judicial Center, 201 West Pine. The state recommended a 12-month non-reporting probation. My conditions usually only require that you pay at the time you tell me you can and that you don't violate any more laws. Is there any chance in the world if I gave you one more opportunity I could trust you?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm going to grant you a 12-month non-reporting probation. That probation is going to have 3 conditions. Number 1, do not violate any laws in the next 12 months. Number 2, pay the $258 today at the clerk of the district court. Number 3, get out there today. Court security, please make arrangements for him to get processed today at the county jail or courthouse or wherever you need him to go. If you don't want to serve 120 days in the county jail, sir, you need to do those 3 things. If you're not going to do them, I just as well deny you probation and have you put in jail right now.
I'll be there today.
All right. And I think your license is still suspended, so can you get someone to drive you? I don't want you violating the law to get there.
My license isn't suspended.
It's not suspended now? Very good. All right. So go to court security 2 there and talk to him about what you need to do to get in compliance with court orders. Okay.
And Your Honor,
Mr. Regier?
one final matter.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, it would appear that from the court's order here today that the court is ordering 120 days underlying sentence for count 1 to run concurrent with 120 days underlying sentence for count 3. In accordance with my duty of candor as an officer of the court, I must respectfully advise the court that count 1 is charged as an unclassified non-person misdemeanor, and it would appear that pursuant to KSA 216602 subsections A, 3, and 4, an unclassified misdemeanor does state, quote, the sentence which shall be in accordance with the sentence specified in the statute that defines the crime. If no penalty is provided in such law, the sentence shall be the same penalty as provided herein for a Class C misdemeanor. And subsection 3 does say for a Class C, quote, the sentence for which will be a definite term of confinement in the county jail, which will be fixed by the court and shall not exceed 1 month.
Mr. Regier, does this charge not have its own special penalties? Is this not a registration and tag offense?
That does appear to be how count 1 is charged, Your Honor.
And do you disagree that that particular charge carries a 30-day to 6-month sentencing range?
1 moment, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, based off of my review of KSA 8142, it does not appear to specify a specific duration for a prospective sentence unless the court is aware of something that I am not. It does appear to indicate, however, quote, a violation of this subsection by a person, forgive me, Your Honor, that appears to be concerning a specific provision that is not applicable in this matter. I would withdraw my last comment.
All right. So you do agree that the sentencing is legal?
Your Honor, the insofar as my comment concerning a section that did not apply, but again, based off my review of KSA 8142, I am not aware of any provisions of that particular KSA that refers to a definitive duration.
Well, when I look, maybe they've changed this, but when I look at KSA 8-142 registration and title offenses, and that's what you're looking at?
That's what I am showing, Your Honor.
Subsection 1, violation is subject to the penalties provided. In KSA 8-149 and amendments thereto. First, to operate or permit to operate, skipping over. A vehicle not registered, skipping over, does not have attached and displayed license plate, assigned decal, etc. Moving ahead, a violation. This is not the same title statute you typically charge these under. Well, no, strike that. Okay, going back, 8-142, violation, except as otherwise provided, violation is subject to the penalties provided in 8-149. 8-149, a fine not exceeding $2,500 or by imprisonment in the county jail for not less than 30 days nor more than 6 months or both. And you're saying this does not fall under that because why?
Your Honor, upon further review, KSA 8-149 does appear to indicate, quote, it shall be unlawful and constitute a misdemeanor, punishable by fine not exceeding $2,500 or by imprisonment in the county jail for not less than 30 days nor more than 6 months, or both such fine as imprisonment for any persons to violate any of the provisions of KSA 8-126 et sec. and amendments thereto unless a different penalty is by this act otherwise prescribed. Based off of that, I would withdraw my prior comments.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your diligence in challenging that and checking that out because we do not want to mistake our penalties. But it seems like, Mr. Byrd, the consensus is now, and the order is, that you can be sentenced up to 6 months, and therefore my prior ruling maintains that you receive a 120-day concurrent sentence on each of these counts, but that you will be given a 12-month non-reporting probation, provided you follow those 3 conditions. And you may recall that 1 is don't violate any laws. 2 is pay the total today. And 3, go into the breakout room with court security 2 and set up a time to get out there and get those pictures and prints taken, sir.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about any of that or any comments?
Nope.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bird. You may go at this time, but only to the breakout room. All right. We will now take up Cowden on the record in 2023, TR 3624, State of Kansas versus Aubrey Marceline Jane Cowden. County Attorney Jared Regier for the state. Ms. Cowden in person and pro se. Ms. Cowden, is that you that just disappeared?
Yeah, sorry. My niece is getting loud, so I had to pick her up.
All right. You were here last telling me you were going to apply for diversion on the tag not assigned and no insurance. Did you do that?
Well, I didn't qualify, so I didn't do that, but I know now that I need to get a court-appointed attorney, and then I do have a question about the fingerprint.
All right. Are you employed at this time?
Yeah, I am.
And what do you do for a living?
I work for like a little burger place here in Arc City.
And do you work full-time?
Yeah, I do. I work 40 hours a week.
Okay. How much do you make per month?
I make about $400 a week, so about $1,200 or $1,600 a month.
Do you pay rent or a mortgage?
Well, yeah, I pay rent. I pay $350 a month.
And are you married or single?
Single.
Do you pay any utilities?
Yeah, probably about $150 a month for all of them.
Do you have any vehicles?
Yeah, I have a financed vehicle.
Okay, what do you pay on that?
$500 a month.
All right. Any other income?
No.
I will find that you qualify, and I will appoint Attorney Darren Patterson. Did you by chance get his name and number?
No, but I can.
All right. Do you have a pencil and paper?
Yes, 1 second. Okay, what is it?
It's Darren, Darren Patterson, Patterson. His phone number is 316. Call him as soon as we adjourn here and tell his staff your contact information and your court date, which, remind me, Destiny, on that Monday is
November 18th, Judge.
November 18th. You must be here by Zoom, November 18th at 8 a.m. And I did order you to do a $1,000 OR bond on June 12th. Did you go do that? Get your picture print and bond?
No, I made an appointment and I did miss the appointment. I've tried to call numerous times and I can't. They'll transfer me to something called ADM or Human Resources, but I still can't get to an actual person to remake the appointment.
Well, you don't get to remake the appointment. Generally, a warrant usually issues. It's like a court date. You either do it or you don't. And I'm not going to repeat the lecture I gave the gentleman, Mr. Bird, about not following my orders or how important they are. I'll let you talk to Mr. Patterson about that. Now, okay. The question, Mr. Regier, is do I send a warrant out after her, or do I give her another chance to schedule and maybe she'll make it and maybe she won't? Does the state have any opinion on that?
Your Honor, what I can tell the court is that I am showing a jail affidavit indicating, quote, that as of August 13th, 2024, the defendant failed to report to the Butler County Detention Facility as directed by the court to be processed and released. In reviewing my notes, it would appear that that was approximately 2 months and 1 day after the matter first came before the court on June 12th. Beyond that, I will respectfully defer to the court, and my office is prepared to make appropriate paperwork for submission to the court for Your Honor's review for that purpose.
Well, Ms. Cowden, I'm tempted, and I may just issue an arrest warrant and make you put up a cash bond if I can't trust you to do what you tell me you're going to do. But,
Your Honor.
Sir?
Just to let you know, Mr. Bird never entered the breakout room either, so you might want to consider that also.
Oh, good grief, people. Apparently,
Well,
they ain't help enough.
There's times to get a hold of somebody. I'm not trying to avoid.
You don't do that. It's not their fault that you didn't go out. But why don't you tell me your reason for not going out?
Well, I live all the way in Arc City and I work 6 days a week. And I tried to make it. The only day I don't work is Monday.
Did you tell the officer that when he set up a time?
Well, I didn't have a job then when I set up the appointment, and I have a job now.
Well, you should have told your employer, I can't make that one day. I try to be reasonable, but, you know, if you can't work with me, then I'm going to have to get a lot tougher.
When I was told originally by the district attorney when I first got a court date, that wasn't the actual court date, because I got pulled over by a sheriff's officer, that if I emailed them my insurance and tags, they would drop all of this. This was clear back in November, and I'm still going to court, even though I emailed my tags and my insurance. That's the only reason I even want an attorney.
And whose baby do you have now? You said that's your niece?
Yeah, this is my sister's. I have an 8-year-old stepdaughter, but she lives with me. So
you are married? You're married?
Nope.
Her stepdaughter lives with you, but her dad does not?
No, both of her parents are kind of MIA.
And what would be different if I just gave you a new date to turn yourself in?
Well, if it's a Monday, then I won't have to work.
So I have to work around your schedule?
Well, not necessarily, but I am the only cook. Like right now we have 2 15-year-old employees and just myself.
If you're not there, the people of Arc City go hungry for their burgers?
Yeah. I promise I am not trying to avoid getting it done. I've had I'm a felon.
You did avoid getting it done. And the jail doesn't, I'm not going to get into all that. I'm going to issue a bench warrant. And I'm going to set your bond at $500 cash or surety, and you can turn yourself in there in Arc City.
They're going to take me all the way to El Dorado, and I have to have $500 to get out of jail.
You can talk to them about bondsmen and making bond down there. They can arrest you down there. They can make you post your bond down there. A bondsman may be able to help you with that bond. And I'll reserve November 18th at 8 a.m. as a court date for them, but I appreciate the fact you work. I really appreciate the fact that you work, and that's why I'm giving you such a low bond. But you have to understand that there are reasons for laws, and you have to follow those laws. And if I can't get you to follow my first basic order, then I'm concerned about the other matters. But you talk to Mr. Patterson, your attorney. And then if all goes as I've directed, I'll see you back here November 18th at 8 a.m. Any questions or comments from anyone else?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Court security?
That'll work, Judge.
So what does it mean when I go do the fingerprints? Are they going to arrest me?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They will arrest you, but they're going to have a $500 cash bond. So if you can work out payment, whether it's through a bondsman or family or friends, they'll release you upon payment of that money.
All right.
But if you don't do what you're told, it's going to get a whole lot worse.
Well, I tried to call 600 times.
Again, it's I don't know who you were calling, but it's not everybody else's fault. It's not everybody else's fault. You need to be responsible and take care of this.
I just don't understand why you can reschedule court, but you can't reschedule the fingerprints. I didn't have the means to get to El Dorado. What was I supposed to do? And now I don't have the means to pay the bond.
Okay, and now you're challenging me even more. I really try to work with people on a basic level. But if you don't get the importance of this, then I have to go. All right, you just contemptuously walked off on me, ma'am. I've been very patient.
Keep her content so that I can speak to you.
I have been very, you don't bring babies to court, first of all.
Okay, well, What do I do? Do I set her outside?
You don't take on babysitting jobs when you have a court appointment. Maybe I need to have you start appearing in person and not give you the courtesy of Zoom or the convenience of Zoom.
Okay.
You know, you don't strike me as a bad person, but you have just slowly wound yourself into a position that could get you put in jail on contempt of court or cost you fines for contempt of court. So you just need to understand that you got yourself into this jam. Maybe you did. Maybe the officers went out after you and you did nothing wrong, and your attorney will help show that. But you are here now, and you need to be respectful and follow court orders. I understand life can be tough, but once you get into certain predicaments, you have to take care of the consequences.
Okay, understandable.
All right. But if it's better for you to think of court in terms of coming in your best dressed and sitting on a bench and waiting your turn and coming and seeing me live and in person, if that's what makes you think that this is more serious, we can do that. I don't have to give you the convenience of your home there. All right. Anything further, Mr. Regier?
No, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Cowden, I suggest that we adjourn now before you get into more trouble. You're excused at this time, but turn yourself in on your warrant.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. We need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Joke. Oh my God, sir. Put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of your... What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed? We're going to start bringing people in person. People are going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it?
No.
Okay.
I have no patience for that. And trust me, after the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.